Ready?
Okay, let's go. I'm getting ready to go. Ready? Good afternoon and welcome to the Rotary Club of Beaumont, the 72nd club founded in the world. And welcome to my last meeting as president. To lead our invocation today, we have Fred Christensen, and then we have Lindy Dennis to lead us in the pledges. So, okay, so we have Fred Christensen to lead the invocation. We have Fred Christensen. Then,
Please join me in our prayer. Dear God, we are thankful for this day that you have given us for its blessings, its opportunities, its challenges. May we appreciate and use each day that comes to us. We pray for strength and guidance for each day as it comes, for each day's duties, for each day's problems. May we be challenged to give our best always, and may we be assured of your presence with us. Amen.
okay, Lindy Dennis to lead us with the pledges.
And Lindy, are you unmuted? If y'all wait just a minute, let him unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Let's do the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America,
of
and to the republic for which it
Republic
stands,
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's do the Texas flag. Honor the
Honor
Texas
the
Texas flag,
flag. Allegiance to thee, Texas, state under God, and indivisible.
Okay,
Thank you, Lindy.
thank you, Fred and Lindy. Very good. Next, Diane Bass will share some information from yesterday's board meeting.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? The Board of Directors met yesterday for our final meeting of this Rotary year. We approved one new membership proposal. D Lane, event banquet sales for Coshada Casino Resort, classification, casinos, banquet sales. D was proposed by Sherry Pierce. And with much regret, we announced that we lost 14 members. Those terminated were Amber Clark, Dan French, Trish Rumble, and David Shoemaker. The resignations accepted with regret were Kathy Bachelot, Roger Bemis, Paula Boutte, Mark Davis, Debbie Frazier, Linda Williams-Gagney, Rob Glassy, Kim Huber, Kevin King, and Ryan Smith. In the other business of the meeting, we approved the budget for next year and the calendar of events that are planned to take place. We know we have to be flexible until we determine the safest course of action based on the COVID pandemic, and will be following the Jefferson County and State of Texas recommendations and guidelines. At the current time, our plan is to continue meeting virtually using Zoom like today, but the board is prepared to stay the course until the end of August because we simply have to do what is in the best interest of our members and their health. We will continually watch the statistics and heed the advice of the professionals, but we continue to look forward to returning to our regular meetings together at the Elegante. Meanwhile, we have a committee appointed that is charged with deciding the procedures we will follow once we are allowed to meet as a large group again. The first thing they want to do is to find out from the membership how you will feel safe and comfortable to attend meetings again. They are developing a brief survey, and we will be sending that out to you for a response soon. So please respond when you get the online link, or respond by phone if you would rather. And we approved becoming international partner with the Rotary Club of, and I'm going to butcher this, Yadamalape Tejas of District 3202 in India on a global grant project to create artificial limbs for patients. You will learn more about this in the coming weeks and months if the grant is approved by the Rotary Foundation. We also thank the Rotarians who have completed their term of service to the board: Kathleen Alsop, Melly Bevilacqua, Cindy Janice, and Tim Sedella. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you, Diane. Let's see, next, Pat Anderson, Show Your Colors Flag Chair, would like to talk for a few minutes. Yeah. Hey, Pat, can't hear you.
Okay, well, I had to unmute this thing again. On a serious note, July 4th is coming up, and there are a lot of people that won't be able to make it. And it really puts us in a kind of a bind. And so what I'm trying to do is for any of you out there that hadn't done it before, if you can do it just this one time would be great. If you have done it before and you can do it, we really do need you to sign up. Call me or Gary, or leave word with Jackie, email us and let us know, because it's a great time of the year, and what we do with this and talking about our independence. So we really need to put the flags out, and we really need some help this time. So if you can, probably about at least 10 more people will help us to get this thing out. So if there's any way, form, or fashion, like I said, if you've never done it, you don't need any experience. You know, it don't take long to be trained to do this, because all we do is go on a route. It's got the map sent to you. You have time to look at it beforehand and go out and follow the routes. All you got to do is come up to the office. We'll give you some flags and some rebarb and put it in the ground, put the flag up. Nothing to it. But we really do need your help this time. So please think about it if you can. If you can only do it just this one time, and especially if you're going to be home for 4th of July and you need to get up and do a lot of cooking, this is a good time. You'll be wide awake by the time you get back to the house and ready to prepare for the festivities of that day. So anyway, let me or Gary know, and we do need your help this time. So thank you in advance.
Okay, Pat, put me down on the list.
Okay, there's one. Need 9 to 10.
You got one. You got it.
I hear any other offers?
I think I've done that before several long times.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
glad to help.
Thanks, Joe.
You bet. Okay, next up, let's see, Melly Bevilacqua, would you like to announce the results of the membership challenge that we've done this year?
I would love to. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So this year was a challenge, obviously, but we did good. We brought in, oh geez, Jackie, you'll have to tell how many we brought in.
I believe 35.
Okay, that sounds right. So it was a really close race, and we had 4 teams. We actually had a tie for the winner. So Deborah Drago and Stephanie Shoemaker both tied with 10 new members. So that's exciting. 10 new members each. And then of course, Jay and Josh both had teams, and they just had a few less, but good job, everybody. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have the pizza and bowling party, But we will do something else that'll be fun and exciting to be determined at a later date. So I'll get with Stephanie and Deborah and see how they'd like to, go about celebrating. So anyways, good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Nellie.
Well, thank you for giving
Good
me the
job.
opportunity to serve in this capacity. It was fun.
You got it. Okay, let's see. Appreciate it. Next into, want to thank you being here for this last meeting of the club to celebrate another successful year. It has been an honor to serve as the president, but as you all know, the successes of this club are really because we have an extremely great number of really good people who enjoy serving our community and others. So I'd like to begin by recognizing the Rotarians who earned perfect attendance this year. Though Rotary no longer holds attendance as a stringent membership requirement the way it once did, but this recognition is still very important to those who to set a personal goal to be involved in this level. If they are not at every weekly Wednesday meeting, you will find them attending another club's meeting or watching an online e-club meeting, attending another club, even or working at a project someplace. Each person will receive a number dangle to wear with their Rotary lapel pin. For the newer members, let me just explain that you have to have been in the club for 1 full year before receiving this award. Now, when I call your name for any of the awards going forward, let's have the recipient unmute yourself, and you can say here when it was your turn. Then your face will appear on the audience's screen and we can see you at that time. So going down the line, members who earned perfect attendance this year, and I'll go down the list for the first time. Diane Bass. Okay. Brad Brown. Joanne Brown.
Here.
Cindy Cherry. Cindy?
Hello.
Okay, got you there. And Chuck here? Okay.
Here.
Okay, that's all for first time. Second year is Jennifer Gregory. Jennifer? Okay. Deborah Drago?
I'm here. I'm here.
Got it. For the third year. This is for third year. John Rollins. John Rollins.
Here. Hello.
Okay. Wes Shipley. Wes. Okay. For the fourth year. Oh, golly. Joe Domino. I think I'll do myself. All right. Karen Husbands.
Here.
Rebecca Maxwell.
Here.
Gary Moncla. Sherry Pierce. Anna Timaeus.
Here.
Jay Wilson.
I'm here.
Okay. Sixth year would be Kathleen also.
Here.
Got it. Okay. For the seventh year, Craig Escamilla. Tim Sudella.
I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay. For the ninth year, Jane Burns. Lynn Castle.
Here.
11th year, Philip Dunlap. Becky Mason.
Here.
Chuck Mason.
He's here, but he's on another call.
Okay, got it. Okay, for 15 years, Alan Sampson. 17 years, Pat Anderson.
Here.
Okay, 22 years, Ed Edson.
Yes, sir.
Good. 34 years, Michael Wolf.
Here.
And then, you're not going to hard to really to believe this one, but for 45 years, Fred Christensen.
Here.
All right. Way to go, Fred.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So we have a special award that was started a few years ago to recognize a person who has made exceptional contributions as a new member. It is selected by the club president based on observation and input from some board members. This new member jumped into action after he first joined and joined us in service right away. I think he has done every flag delivery, and he helped also with the project that we did with the food bank. And it is great to announce this year Rookie of the Year award goes to Kevin Reed.
And regrettably, I don't think he's here.
So Kevin, I'm gonna hold it up. Kevin, okay. And I want to show the plaque to the camera, to Kevin. We will get this award to you as soon as that we can. Okay, Kevin? Thank you so much.
He's not here, Joe.
Okay. Okay, you got it. Thank you so much. All right. To present the next very special award, the Spirit or Rotary Award, is the selection committee chairman. It's Michael Perez.
All right. Well, the Spirit of Rotary Award, for those who are unfamiliar, I'm going to read a little bit about it. It was established in 2009 by then President Jim Rich. The award is to recognize one of the newer club members who exemplifies the true spirit of Rotary by active club participation, involvement in club activities, and is selected by a diverse committee of club members. To be eligible, the candidate must have been a member of the Rotary Club of Beaumont for at least 1, but fewer than 6 years. The candidate must have good meeting attendance. The candidate must be involved in service projects and have served on committees of the club. And lastly, the member must observe the 4-way test in their business and personal lives. Past recipients include Uliana Trelowski, Vernon Pierce, Randy Fluke, Cindy Cherry, Michael Perez, Craig Escamilla, Craig Lively, Lynn Castle, Rob Glassy, Kathleen Alsup, and Dana Timaeus. Every year it oftentimes is a tough decision, but we have got lots of great members of our club, several who qualify for this award. After much debate, our committee did make a selection nearly unanimously. And this year's recipient is a very active and lively member of our club. You can identify and recognize their laugh from across the ballroom. They have a Rotary spouse that they have to work very hard to keep in line all the time. They currently serve as a Rotary board member for our club, have been very active in several youth programs, including RILA, chaired or sponsored an Interact Club and attended many Interact Club meetings, and was supposed to chair this year's wind down for Rotary. What a great year to do that. If you haven't guessed it yet, the Spirit of Rotary Award this year goes to Sherry Pierce.
Right.
Jerry, I'm going to hang this on my wall in a very nice place to remember you
I'm gonna come
guys.
and get it. Y'all, thank you. I can't believe this. Thank you.
I'm sure Jackie will get this to you after she disinfects it.
That part about keeping the spouse in line, that's the real challenge. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank
Sharon.
you. And thank you.
Michael.
Yes, I want to say thank you, Michael, for doing that. That's a great job. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Okay, congratulations again. Okay.
Read the board members and then go through the list of board members.
You got it. Way to go. Okay, I have a number. First, and now, by the way, Cindy Sherry will make a presentation. Cindy?
Hello, everyone. I am proud to present the District Roll of Fame Award today. The qualifications are that the person must have served as an officer or directory of a Rotary Club, must have been a member of Rotary for 5 years prior to the nomination. Honoree must have above average attendance, have attended another Rotary Club, and at least one district conference and one district assembly. Must have chaired or actively served on several club committees in more than one of the avenues of service, and they should make every effort present to personally receive their award. So today I want to, I'm glad that our person that's receiving this is going to meet all these requirements. Tim Sedella joined the Rotary Club of Beaumont on October 28, 2009, and he has never slowed down. He served as the club's RILA chair from 2012 to 2016 and continues to be an essential part of the RILA team. He works camp every year as part of the photography crew, both at orientation and throughout the weekend. Morphs into Texas Tim at the Texas Skis during the challenge course, and is the rock of our current RILA director, and tops it all off as partaker of all the free ice cream he can eat. Tim served on the Beaumont Rotary Club's board of directors from 2014 to 2017, and has also served as a Beaumont Rotary Foundation board trustee. Mr. Sedella served as club president 2017 to 2018, and led the club masterfully through the disaster recovery efforts following Harvey in 2017. Tim is skilled with a hammer, screwdriver, and a paintbrush, and has been integral in practically every service project the club has taken on. He is a talented photographer and chronicles both local and district events for 5910. So I'm very proud to present Tim Sedella with the Roll of Fame.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the honor. It is a great honor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Cindy. And congratulations, Tim. Great, really great. Okay, to begin with, I have a number of people that I would like to especially thank for their service years. To begin with, I would like to thank our elected board members. And we'll go down the list. Kathleen Alsop, Melly Bevilacqua, Brad Brown, Karen Husbands, Cindy Genus, Alan Lee, Rebecca Maxwell, Sherry Pierce, Mary Poole, Randy Shelton, and Dana Tomas. I thank you again, and those, I think, let's see, we had that, and those leaving the board are Kathleen Alsop, Melly Bevilacqua, and Cindy Genus. We thank all of you for the contributions through the years. I also would like to thank those who served the officers this year. That would be Gary Moncla as a sergeant of arms, Brad Brown, treasurer, Diane Bass was secretary, and Joanne Brown, vice president. All of you did a great job. Appreciate all of them. The title Vice President is pretty important as it is, but in our club, the Vice President also means the person is responsible for working with the program committee and arranging speakers for all of the weekly meetings. It is a big job under the best of circumstances, but this year, I have to say Joanne had the extra challenge of scheduling during a pandemic. There were cancellations, there were rearranging speakers, and then she faced trying to secure speakers who would agree to speak to us using Zoom. And that wasn't always very easy either. So for her outstanding work this year, we will be presenting Joanne with a Paul Harris Fellow. And I want to say thank you, Joanne.
I was muted, but I'd sincerely like to thank everyone. Joe Domino, you're a wonderful leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. You did a great job all the way through down. I appreciate it. Okay, Michael Wolf, please unmute and say here. I'd like to recognize Michael as a outgoing chair of the Beaumont Rotary Foundation Board of Trustees. Michael,
Here.
Yes, okay. Thank you for giving 3 years to this important board. For those of you who do not know, the Beaumont Rotary Foundation is a charitable branch of the club, which is charged with managing our investment funds. Your contributions to service above self grants and all of the income from the investments are the funding sources for the projects that we do. Thanks so much for your support and assistance, Michael. In recognition of your service, I am presenting you with a Paul Harris Fellow.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure serving, and we got one more meeting tomorrow for the final meeting of the foundation. Robert, Henry, and Cindy, and everybody else. Jackie, thank you for all your help too. It's been a pleasure the last 3 years.
Did a great job, Michael. I've been in a lot of them. Appreciate it. Okay, it is also my honor to present a Paul Harris Fellow to someone you all know for her hard work and dedication to the club and foundation, because she chaired the great fundraiser Wine Down with Rotary, Kathleen Dawson. Kathleen, we thank you so much, and we'll give you your pin as soon as we can. Appreciate that for you. Thank you. We had two really, oh, there you are. Go ahead. I couldn't hear you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There we got it. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen. Good job. Let's see. We had 2 really good years of membership growth under the leadership of Melly Belawakwa, who set up some opportunities for little challenges with memberships. Melly, we will be presenting you also with a Paul Harris Fellow for your contributions.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's so exciting. Thank you so much.
That's great.
What a surprise.
Okay. This is going on despite with the pandemic. We had a good year of service opportunities and have saved our community, served our community very well. We owe thanks to John Lee, our community projects chair, for that. John, you will receive a Paul Harris Fellow for leading our service work all the time. Thank you so much. And I owe much thanks to the person who was my presidential advisor this year, and that was Tim Sudella. And Tim, your Paul Harris Fellow will be delivered to you too. Thank you. Okay, and I want to express my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to our wonderful executive director, Jackie Chapman. Jackie, those roses that we have are for you, and I will deliver them to you later today. Those are yours.
Thank you. You're neat. Thank you, Joe. That's beautiful.
Okay, thank you. Also, one surprise for you, I will be bringing a check for a Paul Harris Fellow for your honor also. Jackie.
Thank you, Joe.
You got it. So thank you, Jackie, for all that you do, all that you did to help make my year as a president, a success. Thanks to you. I appreciate that very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. It is also, excuse me, let's see, okay. I had one more point here. Last but not least, I am presenting a Paul Harris Fellow Award to my partner and helpmate, Linda. Linda, who I would tell you, I got a little thing here that without Linda's help, I would never, ever have been able to be successful. She was always there to help me. And even up to today, right now, she's been helping me from last night all the way up through today. So I appreciate all that she has done.
Thank you very much.
You got it so much. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay, the next one says, here we go. To everyone, if you served as a board member or a committee chair, worked on a service project, put out flags, or took part of in club projects in any way, we will be sending a donation to the Rotary Foundation in your name. Even though you may not be in position to donate funds towards the Paul Harris Fellow because of your time and your service for the club, we are making the financial gift in your name, and it will be will help you to earn first Paul Harris Fellow or your next Paul Harris Fellow. I appreciate your service, your commitment, your participation, and very much. Now, I understand that I am supposed to turn the microphone over to the Toast Committee for a short program.
Thank you, President Joe. And for our new members, I need to give a little background. We have, by our tradition in our club, what's called a President's Swan Song. A couple of years ago, when Ted Moore was president, he tried to tone that down and call it a toast, but it's more like a roast/toast, so we call it a troast. So the next 10 minutes are for your entertainment. The best way that you can entertain or enjoy the next 10 minutes would be to turn your computer off and go outside. But I encourage you not to do that because Dana Tamaeus, Brad Brown, Deborah Drago, and Cindy Cherry has spent maybe hundreds of seconds putting this script together for you and practicing. I can't tell you how many times that we rehearsed this. So please enjoy that, but I've got a couple of rules that will make this next 10 minutes more enjoyable. Number one, and most important, we need everybody to mute their screens. Not your screens, your audio, mute your audio. And I don't want to single anybody out, but Pat Anderson, is there somebody with you there that maybe can help you with this process? So please mute your audio and don't come in because that's going to affect our presentation. Number two, if a little more advanced, maybe a little bit less important, if you can go to the very top of your screen where it says speaker view. Click on that so that speaker view, you click on speaker view. That way it will show the speaker really big screen. Now, you may not want to look at me in big screen, but I'm sorry. That's what we're doing today. For those of you that are more advanced, if you go to my box, the Tim Sedella box, and click on those three little dots and say pin video, that will make sure that my screen stays up through this presentation. Not important. The most important is keeping your audio muted while this presentation is going on. Is that fair enough for everybody? Okay, one other thing I forgot to tell you. Normally, the Swan Song Committee has a budget of about $20,000 to put this presentation on, but due to COVID-19, Jackie only gave us $4.50. So a little bit less of a production this year than what we normally do. But still, we're going to have fun, and it's a great way to honor our current president, outgoing president, Joe Domino, who does such a fantastic job with us. So is everybody ready? Get your seatbelts on, because we are about to start here in just one moment, okay? All right. Oh, let's see. All right, I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to rename.
This is Your Life, a program for all Americans.
From the Timaeus Law Firm Studios, the Not Ready for Elegante players present This Is Your Life, brought to you by Gravel. Gravel, it's rocks, just small, cute, dare we say petite. Gravel, it's not just for driveways anymore. And now your host, the person whose very name and voice embody This Is Your Life, Ruth Edwards.
Hello, folks. I have a book and look at the name. This is Your Life, Joe Domino. You were born in Louisiana and lived your early life in Franklin, Louisiana. As a youth, you suffered a traumatic event that threatened to cut short the life that we are honoring today. Fortunately, a childhood friend was nearby. Do you remember this voice from your past?
Well, it was a hot day in April, and we was dangling our feet off the dock in the Bayou Teche when a big old alligator guard grabbed Joe by the left foot. And I grabbed Joe by the arms and started pulling, and we pulled back and forth, and that guard flipped and flopped, and I pulled and pulled, and we were playing wishbone with Joe. And I finally jerked real hard on Joe when that guard let go, and I saved Joe.
Yes, Joe, he's been your friend since second grade. It's Philippe Boudreau.
Joe? Yeah, they said, who is that masked Cajun? Well, it's the lone Cajun, Philippe Boudreau. Hey, Joe, how you doing, man? Oh, my. Hey, Joe, back in those days, Joe, he was running a track, with us at hurdles in junior high. And for like 4 or 3 weeks, he could jump, but he just couldn't land. I don't know what to take. We had this situation where once upon a time me and Joe, we went to New Iberia to see that new movie Goldfinger. And that's where he saw Linda for the very first time. She was working in the counter, behind that counter, down at the other end, she was serving Stinky Tim, who smelled like a feedlot, but she was getting him a malted milk, and man, he was smitten. Ooh, that girl, she could fry some cracklings. I'm telling you, that girl, she could run a trot line too, and she just take them catfish and she pull them off the hook and she look them in the eye and she winked just to watch their whiskers curl up. And hey, Joe, you remember that time when they had the Giant Omelet Festival in Abbeville and we decided we were going to go over there, we're going to get us a new set of banjo strings for your banjo. And we decided to stay a little late that night. And we climb up on the Steen's syrup storage tanks, you know, them big Steen's syrup cans. And I fell in. And I thought I was going to die a sweet but miserable death. I was going to drown in pure cane syrup. And Joe, he stripped off every stitch of clothes he had. And he tied it all together. He let it down to pull me up. And I say, you take the end with the underwear. And Joe, he flipped it around and dropped it back down and pulled me out. And he saved my life. Otherwise, I'd have just been a faded memory for my mama, my papa, and my 14 little brothers and sisters, and just a little bitty footnote in the history of the Giant Omelet Festival. Joe, you saved my life. I owe you everything, man.
Yes, Joe, you have a trail of grateful friends and a legacy of admiring onlookers, some of whom helped shape your life and then watched you develop into the exemplary man you are today. Do you remember this voice from your past?
Joseph, when is the last time you have gone to confession?
Yes, Joe, it's your first grade teacher from St. John Academy, Sister Marceline of the Marianites of the Holy Cross Order.
Sweet Joseph, in all my years of teaching, I could tell Joseph was going to be a faithful servant. On many occasions, I would see him holding a light bulb at recess, in the chapel, walking home. One day I asked Joseph, why do you carry a light bulb? He said, sister, when I grow up, I want to be enlightened. From what I have seen, that light bulb positively illuminated Joseph. It was also no surprise to learn Joseph became well known in the energy industry. He was always interested in experimenting and how things worked. I remember one time he built a super sensitive charge detector to sense electric fields created by static electricity. You know, those nasty electric shocks you get after you have walked around on the carpet and touch a doorknob. Well, as my memory recalls, Joseph's super sensitive charge detector needed rewiring. Or did it? Because when he demonstrated his electrical ingenuity, Sister Rosetta Stone walked in the classroom at that moment, and boy, did she get the shock of shocks. You know, the kind that knocks your headpiece off your head. I bet you know what happened next. Joseph, I know you have gone to great lengths to become educated and successful and the servant leader you are today. God bless you.
Yes, Joe, you had lots of help along the way, but your initiative, curiosity, and commitment to a lifelong learning process built the knowledge base and capabilities that you brought to bear in your adult life. Your grandchildren, who know something about your contribution to the electrical energy industry and your abiding love for alternating currents, held a seance recently and freed the spirit of one of those mentors. He asked to appear today and congratulate you on the completion of your presidency of the Rotary Club of Beaumont. Do you remember this voice from your past?
40 years with Gulf States and then with Entergy? Edison didn't electrocute that many goats trying to get people to adopt direct current.
Yes, Joe, it's your old professor from LSU, Nikola Tesla.
Lasted that long and moved up in the company through a series of power moves. Our best to your wife, Linda. We know you fell in love with her because you couldn't resist her. We get a charge out of you, Joe. Always plugged in and switched on. We all want you to work in the community to continue flowing and for you to remain current. Good luck transforming into your next project.
Thank you, Mr. Tesla. I know that Joe got a charge out of you being here today. We now have a special guest that you, as a Scoutmaster, influenced when he was a young scout in Troop 185. Do you remember this voice from your past?
I remember that when I joined Troop 185, I was only 12 years old. I didn't know much at all about scouting. I already knew how to start fires, which I did on a regular basis in my neighborhood, but I didn't know the difference between a controlled fire and an uncontrolled fire.
Yes, Joe, it's Scoutmaster Tim, who you may remember as Little Timmy from Boy Scout Troop 185. He has followed your example of service and is now the Scoutmaster of Troop 185.
Okay, I'm sorry. Scoutmaster Joe, congratulations on this celebration of your life. Your example to scouting, but also to service in our community, goes way beyond the Boy Scouts. It says right here that you served on several civic organizations like the Greater Beaumont Chamber of Commerce, the Lamar University College of Engineering Advisory Council, Golden Triangle Minority Business Council, and you were very active in the Tea Party. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It says you were appointed by the TEA Commissioner to serve on the BISD Board of Managers. That's not like the Tea Party at all. Anyway, the manner in which you served impacted many people along the way. In fact, there's somebody I want to introduce you to. Come on over here. Scoutmaster Joe, this is little Joey. He is the newest member of Troop 185. We named him after you. His parents were not too excited about that at first, but they're warming up to the idea. I can still remember little Joey's first camping trip. You remember that? Okay, so when we got there, we set up our pup tents, and then we made a fire, and it was a control fire, mind you, but we sat around the campfire and ate our first campfire dinner. It was hot dogs with a bunch of chili on it. Then remember, hey, don't put your boogers on me. Then remember what we did after that? We went out into the deep woods and did our very first snipe hunt. Needless to say, little Joey was a little bit scared out there, and all of a sudden the chili started kicking in and he needed to find a latrine very fast. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it back to camp in time. So ever since then, we call little Joey, Little Sloppy Joey. Scoutmaster Joe, you were a great mentor to me while I was working on the rank of Eagle Scout. You see all these merit badges here. There was one merit badge that prevented me from becoming an Eagle Scout, and that was the knot tying merit badge. I never could tie that square knot. Anyway, thank you, little Joey. Appreciate you showing me up there. All right, well, little Joey, can you show Scoutmaster Joe how you can recite the Boy Scout oath?
Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, beerful, nifty, paved, washed, and penitent.
No. That was a good try, but that was just a little bit sloppy, Joey. Perhaps we can share with Scoutmaster Joe how much we have learned from him and his inspiration by reciting the Rotary four-way test of the things that we think, say, and do. Can you help me with that? All right. First.
Is it the truth?
Very good. Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Very good. Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Excellent. And fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Very good, Joey. Sometimes Rotarians have a fifth test. You know what that is?
Is it fun?
Is it fun? Congratulations, President Joe, on a great year.
Joe, you are an example to all of us that success is not an end in itself and that true happiness comes easily to those who strive always for the best and devote themselves to their friends and families. Joe Domino, this is your life.
All right, President Joe, allow me to get serious for just a moment. I can remember back in 2005 when our community was affected by the devastation of Hurricane Rita. The property damage and disruption to our electrical grid was something that our area had not seen in a very, very long time. I can remember two things like it was yesterday. The first thing was that it was so blazing hot after Rita. Y'all remember that. In addition to the high temperatures, no electricity meant no air conditioning. The second thing I remember was listening to Al Caldwell on KLBI radio for updates on what was happening in our area. Every day, multiple times a day, you reported on the progress of Entergy linemen that were working to restore power in our community. Your patience and calm demeanor were exactly what we as a community needed. Like a true engineer, you shared the plan of focusing work crews on areas that would help restore power to the most people first. Although people were hot and becoming more irritable each day, they could understand that plan even if their home or business was not high on the priority list. To say that this Rotary year has been unusual would be an understatement. It began just like all new Rotary years. A new club president, a new Rotary International theme, and new goals of how we as a club would connect the world. Then Tropical Depression Imelda paid us a visit. We lost our meeting space, and more importantly, some of our members' homes were affected by floodwaters. Just like you were in the aftermath of Hurricane Rita, you provided calm leadership to our club and members. We found a new meeting location, and we continued our mission of providing service above self to our members and to our community. Not long after returning to our regular meeting space at the Elegante Hotel, our club, like every other business and organization throughout the world, was affected by COVID-19. Unlike Imelda, we didn't have a roadmap for a pandemic. Sure, our club was around in 1918 when the Spanish flu was here, but our only connection to that time was Charlie Weinbaum, and he was only 5 years old back then. More than ever, our club needed a strong leader, someone who could lead with calm logic during a very emotional time. You consulted many people. You created an environment where different ideas could be voiced. And then together, we resumed doing what we as Rotarians do, serving our community and continuing our international challenge to end polio now. We know that our club will be facing some challenges going forward. No doubt we will lose some members due to COVID-19 job losses and career changes. But those challenges are like dominoes that we can knock down one by one with the changes that we made under your leadership. We always knew how to serve, but now we know how to Zoom. And most of us know where the mute button is. As your year as our club president comes to a close, I can say with confidence that our club is better because of you. I was proud to serve under your leadership. I may be square, but I'm not joking. Joe, we now have a video of your year in review that Jackie will now play for us. And when we're watching this, there are some challenges, as we know, of playing a video over Zoom. So after this, Jackie will send the link to you so that you can watch that video at your leisure. But Joe, again, it's been a pleasure serving under your leadership. Thank you, Jackie.
turn on your audio. Yours is the machine now.
Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear all the angels cheer because we're together. Weatherwise, it's such a lovely day. Just say the words and we'll feed the birds down to Acapulco Bay. And it's perfect for flying. road, shut down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June, I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on the dream. But I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine world, it keeps spinning around. I've been a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out. And I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. I tell you, I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if I didn't think it was worth a single try, I'd jump right out of Big Bird and then I'd fly. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out. And I know one thing. Each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I just pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. That's life. And I can't deny it. Many times I'm gonna cut now, but my heart won't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking from the tears dry, I'm gonna roll myself up in a big bundle and
Okay, don't hear me there, huh?
I believe Joanne has a few words.
Oh,
So Domino, it wouldn't be proper at all if we didn't stop 1 minute after that entertaining tribute to add to the comments that Tim and others just made. Joe, I speak for all of us when I tell you that we respect so much the way you handled the disturbances, all the disturbances that we have had this year. We have a few gifts we will be presenting to you as remembrances of the year, and every one of them comes with our deep appreciation for your dedication and your leadership. We will be giving you the banner with this year's logo and the theme on it, so you will always remember that Rotary connects the world. As the generous donor that you are, we know you have multiple Paul Harris Fellows to your name already, but no one can have too many of those. So we have made a donation to Rotary Foundation to your favorite campaign, End Polio Now. And lastly, Joe, we will be delivering you a gift of a beautiful clock with an engraved inscription for your desk or your bookshelf there in your home office that we've all gotten to know during our Zoom meetings. We hope it will be a good memory of the year you gave to Rotary service as our president. Thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you very much. Gosh, that's more than I ever thought. You know, when I first started listening to you guys, and and all some of that, the first thing came was wow, poo-yah, what's going on out there? But then again, I saw some really good things going on there, and I appreciate it. I want to thank you. That was a very entertaining and presentation, and all of the efforts that that all of y'all put together for me. I appreciate that very much. Let me just say a few things. At my first meeting, I said that the best way to implement the 2019-2020 theme of the Rotary Connects the World is through service. And I am thankful to say that the Rotary Club of Beaumont definitely has service during the 2019-2020 year. It has been a wonderful honor to serve as the Rotary Club of Rotary at Belmont Beaumont since 2019, 2020 president. And in spite of all of the challenges and things past year, we have had a successful year. And thanks to your commitment, service, and participation, I am thankful to each and every one of your friendship, assistance, commitment, and service all through the year that I've worked in all of that y'all helped. So I appreciate all of that very much. So I think at one time, I think it's time to be the end, huh? So let's go down the path now, and let's go ahead and recite the 4-way test of the things that we think, say, and do. So let's first say, is it the truth?
The truth.
Truth.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it good? Goodwill
And benefit.
Will it be
beneficial to all concerned?
And I want to thank you to go out and connect the world and smile. And I'm going to ring that bell for the last time and turn it over to the next night's that's coming up. And so thank you very much. We've got a little bit in here, and that's the best I can do. Okay. And thanks to all of y'all for Arrow that y'all have done and to help with me for the last year. Appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Well done, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, and congratulations.